A dropped handkerchief could once break or make a heart. In the strict world of Victorian romance, every gesture was a carefully coded message. Lovers developed an entire secret language to communicate their true feelings right in front of their watchful families and chaperones. By the end of this journey, you will be able to decode the hidden meanings behind flowers, fans, and everyday objects. How did a simple tilt of a parasol arrange a secret meeting? What dark message might a bouquet of marigolds convey? This was a world where your social survival depended on understanding a silent conversation happening all around you. What do you think was the most dangerous romantic signal to get wrong? But the language of flowers was far more than a simple list of symbolic meanings. It was a complete, nuanced grammar of the heart. A suitor did not just hand a woman a rose. He presented a carefully constructed sentence where every petal and stem contributed to the overall message. The type of flower, its color, its stage of bloom, and even how it was combined with others all altered the meaning. A single red rose spoke of love at first sight. A grand bouquet of 12 proclaimed "be mine," and 2 blooms, their stems tied together, were a clear proposal, a silent question of "will you marry me?" Yet this beautiful code held hidden dangers. Imagine receiving a bouquet that looked lovely to the untrained eye, but to you it delivered a devastating insult. A gift of lavender, with its message of distrust, hidden amongst seemingly innocent violets, could shatter a courtship. A yellow rose, the mark of jealousy, could accuse a recipient of infidelity without a single word being spoken. This is why those little flower dictionaries became essential survival guides. They were the translators for this silent, high-stakes conversation, allowing a person to decode a potential partner's true intentions or to craft a perfectly calibrated reply. The bouquet itself was a performance. Presenting it with the right hand was an affirmative, a clear yes to the unspoken question between the couple. A left-handed offering, however, was a quiet, polite, but firm rejection. Even the ribbons tying the stems carried intention, their knots and colors adding postscripts to the floral letter. A lover had to be both poet and strategist, arranging blossoms like words in a sonnet designed to win a heart, all under the watchful eyes of a society that forbade them from speaking their truth aloud. And this silent conversation did not end with flowers. A woman's accessories were not just fashion. They were her command center for romance, a portable toolkit for sending messages across a crowded ballroom. The fan was her most versatile instrument, a delicate shield that could whisper secrets of the heart with the slightest movement. Holding it open and covering the left ear was a warning, "You're being watched." But drawing that same fan slowly across her cheek transformed the message entirely, a silent confession of "I want to be with you." A quick, sharp snap of the fan shut was a clear sign of jealousy, while simply placing it near her heart spoke the 3 words she could never say aloud, "I love you." Even the way she held it mattered. Twirling it playfully in her left hand meant "we are being watched," a signal to be cautious. But if she twirled it in her right, the message was far more dangerous for a suitor to see. It meant "I love another." Gloves offered another layer of this subtle code. A lady never simply dropped her glove. If one fell to the floor, it was almost certainly an invitation, a calculated accident giving a gentleman the perfect excuse to approach, retrieve it, and finally start a conversation. The act of removing the gloves was equally telling. Peeling them off slowly, finger by finger, was a sign of strong interest, a deliberate performance meant to be observed. But if she kept them firmly on, or worse, pulled them on more tightly during an interaction, it was a silent but firm rejection, a clear back away. Then there was the parasol, a mobile signaling device for outdoor encounters. Its position and movement conveyed entire sentences. Carrying a closed parasol jauntily over the right shoulder was an open invitation. It meant "follow me." Twirling it slowly and deliberately, however, was the equivalent of a modern-day engagement ring, broadcasting "I am spoken for" to anyone who understood the code. And if a woman chose to rest the tip of her parasol on her right shoulder as a gentleman passed, that was his cue. It signaled, "You may speak to me." Every walk in the park became a potential dialogue, all conducted in perfect, polite silence. These everyday objects provided the ultimate plausible deniability. If a suitor misinterpreted a signal, she could always claim she was merely adjusting her fan, or that the breeze had caught her parasol. She held all the power in this unspoken dance, directing the steps of courtship with a subtlety that words could never achieve. Even the humble handkerchief was a potent weapon in this silent war of affection. Far from a simple accessory for dabbing tears, its movements were choreographed with precision. A lady never merely dropped her cloth by mistake. If she let it fall to the floor directly, it was a friendly, open gesture. But if she drew it slowly, deliberately across her lips, the message was far more intimate, a silent plea of "I desire your acquaintance." And when she brushed that same white linen across her cheek, she was speaking the most dangerous words of all, "I love you," a declaration made without a whisper. The gentleman's role in this exchange was equally nuanced. If he picked up the dropped token, how he returned it was his reply. A specific fold could acknowledge her feelings, while simply handing it back without ceremony was a quiet dismissal. Placing it on a nearby surface instead of into her hand could signal caution, a warning that they were being observed. This entire delicate negotiation could happen in the space of a few seconds, a full conversation conducted with a piece of fabric. Calling cards, those essential tools of social protocol, were also co-opted into this secret language. When a suitor left his card after a visit, its placement and condition were a coded letter. Simply turning down one corner transformed the message from a formal call to a personal one, an indication that the visit was meant for a specific individual within the household, not just the family as a whole. But the intrigue went deeper. Faint pencil marks in specific corners could convey entire sentences of secret meaning, a private code agreed upon beforehand. Where the card was left spoke volumes too. A card accepted and placed prominently in the home's receiving tray was a sign of welcome, but if a card was received and then seemingly misplaced or left in a peripheral location, it was a silent, polite, but firm social rejection. The entire system of calling was a minefield of unspoken rules, where a slight deviation could end a courtship before it even began. These small, everyday actions, from a dropped handkerchief to a folded card, wove a rich tapestry of non-verbal communication. They granted Victorian lovers a discreet channel to express hope, desire, and even heartbreak, all while maintaining the impeccable facade their society demanded. The dining table itself became a secret theater for romance. Every piece of silverware and every glass was a potential prop in a silent play of affection. A woman could arrange her utensils to send a clear message to the gentleman seated across from her. Placing her fork and knife together, with the tines of the fork facing down, signaled the end of the conversation, a polite but firm dismissal. But if she crossed them on her plate, it was an invitation, a silent hope that he would seek her out later. Even her wine glass played a part. Taking a deliberate sip while making eye contact was a bold gesture of interest, while leaving the glass conspicuously full could be a quiet snub. The napkin, too, had its role. Folding it neatly at the end of the meal was standard, but if she crumpled it carelessly, it was often a sign of distress or agitation, a subtle cry for help that only a watchful suitor would understand. This intricate communication continued as the party moved from the dinner to the dance. The dance floor was a whirlwind of coded gestures, where every step and turn held a double meaning. The selection of a dance partner was the first signal. Accepting one dance was mere politeness, but accepting a second, and especially a third, was as good as a public declaration of preference. The dances themselves were a language. A lively polka was open and friendly, but the intimate, closed hold of a waltz was fraught with romantic potential. During that waltz, the pressure of a hand spoke volumes. A gentle, lingering press from her gloved hand against his shoulder was a silent confession of "I care for you." Conversely, the lightest, most distant touch, with fingers barely resting on his sleeve, was a clear message of disinterest, and then there was the step. A deliberate misstep, a gentle tread on his foot, was not always clumsiness. It could be a prearranged signal of warning or a quiet way to say, "Please keep your distance." Even the accessories of the dance held power. A dropped dance card was rarely an accident. It was an opportunity for a specific gentleman to retrieve it, a calculated move to initiate contact. The way a lady accepted a gentleman's arm to be escorted back to her chaperone was another telling moment. Placing her hand firmly on his sleeve indicated warmth and approval. A light, hesitant touch, or barely resting her fingertips, was a silent rebuke. In the glittering chaos of a Victorian ball, under the watchful eyes of mothers and guardians, an entire courtship could be conducted, advanced, or ended through these perfectly executed, socially acceptable gestures. Every smile, every turn, every placement of a glass was a word in a secret dialogue, allowing hearts to speak when mouths were forced to remain silent. That silent dialogue at the dinner table and on the dance floor reveals a profound truth about the Victorian era. These elaborate systems of flowers, fans, and handkerchiefs were far more than quaint customs. They were essential tools for personal expression, born from a society that demanded public propriety while privately yearning for connection. In a world where a chaperone was always present and direct romantic speech was often forbidden, love had to become creative, subtle, and endlessly inventive to simply exist. Every dropped glove and tilted parasol was an act of quiet rebellion, a testament to the human spirit's determination to find a way. We might smile at the complexity of it all now, but these intricate codes speak to a universal and timeless need. It is the need to connect, to express deep desire, and to find love despite any obstacle placed in its path. The next time you hand someone a bouquet of flowers or share a dance with a special person, remember you're participating in traditions that once carried the weight of entire conversations. A single rose was once a declaration, and the pressure of a hand during a waltz could feel like a whispered secret. So, what do you think? What are the secret romantic signals we use in our modern world of dating? Is there a hidden meaning in an emoji, or a specific way of holding a coffee cup that speaks volumes? Share your own observations and theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed unraveling this historical mystery with me, please subscribe for more fascinating journeys into the hidden social codes of the past.